Hello everyone. Today I want to introduce you to square foot gardening. This book has really transformed the way that I garden, and it makes you think differently about your plants and intensive gardening, how closely you can put plants together to take advantage of the space that you have in your garden. And it throws away the idea of having long rows in the ground with 3 feet between each row, which is a lot of wasted space, and weeds pop up, and it makes it more challenging to be able to garden that way. But if you go with a square foot gardening method, you'll see that it's intensive gardening where things are grown more compactly together, and there's formulas in here. I want to go over some of the chapters in this book with you so that you can see what's happening, and then I want to show you my garden and how I utilize this square foot gardening method. So Mel Bartholomew wrote this book back in the 70s after he retired, and he's the one that came up with the square foot gardening method. And so here in this book, I want to show you the first thing that they want to tell you about. And this book is extremely comprehensive. So if you're a beginner gardening, this really has everything that you need to know to begin gardening. The first thing is that you need to map out your yard, and you need to understand where the sun is in your yard and how many hours of sunlight certain parts of your yard are receiving, because most plants need 6 to 8 hours of sunlight per day. Then they talk about the different size boxes that you could use. He does a traditional 4x4 box because his concept is that from any side of the box, you can get to the center of the box. But that doesn't mean you're stuck with that shape. You can do any shape that you want as long as you're able to grid it out into square feet. Another thing is it even goes over materials that you could use to build your boxes, how to build your boxes. So it really is a great guide. Also, in square foot gardening, they have these grids that they build so that you can place it on top of the garden, and that helps define each square foot of the garden. Let's see. It also talks about Mel's mix. Mel's mix is 1/3 compost, 1/3 perlite, and 1/3 peat moss or cocoa coir. And so that's a nice fluffy medium that drains well and works well in raised bed scenarios. Then it even goes into how to divide your squares. So for instance, one square could take 16 carrots, or one square takes 1 tomato. And so there's a chart in this book that tells you all the different vegetables that you might grow and how many you can put into each square. So one part of my garden has these 3 by 11 foot raised beds. So this way I'm able to put in 33 different squares into this bed. So you will see that I have tomatoes back here. Now, one area that I deviate from square foot gardening is that for tomatoes, I personally believe 12 inches is a little bit too close for tomatoes. This is about 16 inches, so I do deviate from that. And another place you're going to see that I deviate from is, you see I do not have the grid work, the wooden grid work, and some people use string. I just find it gets in the way. And so I use a seeding square, and this is how I measure out, and you can see the different color holes depending on what vegetable you're planting. Helps you and guides you on where to put the seed placement in your particular square. So right here, these are yellow beets, and I have 16 in 1 square foot. Right next to it is a pepper plant, and that is 1 plant in 1 square foot. And so then you can't really see them yet, but here I have a trellis here, and I have pole beans here, and you could put 9 to 12 pole beans in a square. And so that's how we go through and we do intensive gardening. And so here, you can probably see it through here, I have this netted off because broccoli, has a lot of problems with cabbage worm. But this is a 3 by 3 area, and I have 1 broccoli per square foot. And then here you'll see some celery, and I have 2 celery in 1 square foot. It really depends on your variety. Some celery plants are smaller than others, like Utah Tall. That's a very large celery, so I probably would only put 1 in 1 square. And then here we have cucumbers, and you can put 2 cucumbers in 1 square. And then what I will do is I have more mature plants that I planted out, and then you can see next to it there's a seed just starting to come up right there. So that's how I'm able to plant in square foot, and then also have some succession planting so that everything is not maturing at the same time. And then some larger vegetables. Well, this is a cantaloupe. Cantaloupe, butternut squash, things like that, zucchini, they need 2 square feet. So that's why you only see like little dill back there. And so this pretty much is taking up the whole row, even though I put some other things in with it. So here is another raised bed. This one is 2 feet by 8 feet. So it's very long. And what I have here is I have a cabbage in each square foot in the front because my sun is more this direction. So I didn't want the cabbage to shade out the carrots that I have back here. And the carrots are about 16 per square. So that's how I'm able to put 2 different plants together in the same bed. So another concept that you have to think about is that you need to understand all the different plants that you're planting and when they're going to be harvested. And you don't want to waste that square. You don't want a square empty during your growing season. This is May 31st right now. I still have another 140 days of growing days left before my first frost date. So it's important for you to understand when your first frost date is and your last frost date so that you really know the number of days in your growing season, and that you make sure that you use seeds and plants that will fit into your growing season. And it's so even though in May is our busy time of putting everything out into the garden, our summer loving crops, even though we've planted earlier some of our cool loving crops, our cool loving crops are going to be harvesting them soon. So you're either going to replace them so that you have a fall harvest, or you're going to put something summer loving into that spot so that you always have something in the square. You don't want to waste the square, and you don't want to waste time. So I truly encourage you to try square foot gardening. It works in raised beds. It works in pots. Think about a pot and, making sure that, 5-gallon pot probably will take 1 plant, and it works. It also works in the ground if you want to do it in the ground, but it's basically the concept is intensive gardening. We want to pull together plants as close together as possible. It cuts down on water evaporation. It cuts down on weeds. And then it also encourages companion planting. So if you're planting cucumbers, underneath the cucumbers, you can plant radishes because the radish will grow and be harvested before the cucumber shades it out. So this is the concept of square foot gardening. I strongly encourage getting the book. It tells you everything that you need to know, and it will make you an expert gardener in no time. So keep farming on, and we'll see you soon.